now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks. Well, here we go on this Thursday morning. And again, it's another cold start to the morning, but simply put, it's just not as cold as it has been the last several mornings as anticipated. In fact, today is going to be relatively mild. We're going to be up in the mid-50s, a lot of bright sunshine. We do have another cold front coming through today, and initially as it comes through, you're going to really think this is not a big deal. We've got northerly winds, but highs in the 50s. But tonight, the dam breaks and we have more Arctic air. It's going to come flooding back into the area. It's going to set us up for a pretty cold couple of days. We're going to talk about that. And then we've still got very generous rain chances on the way as we get into next week. So we'll get a lot of details, obviously, here over the next few minutes. But like I mentioned, it was a cold start to the morning, but simply put, just not as cold as those Arctic mornings the last several. Actual morning lows here, mostly mid-30s around the area. In fact, even here locally in the Metroplex, DFW 38, you can see Dallas Love Field, in fact, was only down to 40 earlier this morning. So it's all about that blue line. It's our next cold front, and in fact, it's already knocking on the door. It's up across parts of Oklahoma. We'll be crossing the Red River as we go through the morning. And again, like I mentioned, the front will come through as we go through the day. The winds will begin to shift around to the north, but again, with sunny skies, temperatures still reaching the 50s. Like I mentioned, you're really going to think the front is not necessarily a big deal. But again, as we look off further to the north, the cold air with the front is really going to lag off to the north, but eventually it's going to come flooding into the area as we go through this evening, and especially overnight tonight. It's going to be windy. It's going to be cold as we get into tomorrow. But the bottom line is, even though we do have a fresh batch of Arctic air coming in, it's just simply put not going to be quite as cold as what we were, again, the last several days. But again, it's still a pretty decent chill down. And again, temperatures will be well below normal as we go over, again, beginning tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, even into parts of Sunday as well. But then as we look at the overall setup, especially looking a little bit further back out to the west, we do have a ridging pattern, and that is eventually going to be some milder temperatures. It's not going to be initially, but it's going to take until Monday of next week. And as those milder temperatures build back in, we actually reverse back into an El Nino pattern, and coming in from the southwest, we have several disturbances. So as we get into next week, we're not just talking about one opportunity of rain, but we're talking about several opportunities of rain on the way. Now, the only thing that there may be a bit of concern with would be Sunday night or maybe very early Monday morning, where temperatures around the region may still be flirting with the freezing mark. There might be, and again, I stress might, be a little bit of freezing rain, possibly from Highway 380 to the north up along the Red River Valley. But the deal is, even if we do see that, temperatures will get above freezing quickly as we go through Monday. There will be additional rain, so the ice will basically be a moot point. But we will watch that. But again, outside of that, as we go forward in time, you can see Storm 1. Here comes another storm. There's another storm. So again, the bottom line is, as we go through next week, it looks quite unsettled. And again, we're mainly talking about just a good old-fashioned, generous opportunities of rain. Looking at future rainfall projections here, this takes into account most of next week. Again, locally here in North Texas, 1 to 2, maybe even 3 inches of rain in our eastern counties. Take a look at Houston. Again, this is still several days on down the road, so this is not matter of fact yet. But the data here is showing Houston may pick up almost 10 inches of rain. So again, yes, this will be a very generous rainfall amount. Obviously, for the folks down along the coastal plains, the Houston area, yeah, that might be a little too much for them. Maybe some flooding concerns there. Otherwise, as we go through the day, just quick peek here at the model. We're sunny. All the active precipitation, even the frozen precipitation, is well off to our east. In fact, Memphis may be dealing with an ice storm as we go through the day. So 50s today, you're going to like it. Maybe even look at that, a couple 60s in our western counties. Again, the winds begin to turn around to the north. Has to do with that next front moving in. And today, while wind chill factors are not really a big deal, out the door tomorrow morning, your wind chill factor is only going to be 12. So this evening, still looking okay. Temperatures through the 40s, but again, that northerly wind will be kicking in. And there it is. The Arctic air floods back in overnight, teens, 20s for overnight lows. And for tomorrow, even though we do get above freezing, it's going to be a pretty cold day. Temperatures generally in the 30s. So we've got the big chill down, again, beginning tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, even into Sunday. And then there it is. Look at next week. We're talking about almost daily opportunities of rain. But the biggest takeaway from this here Again, morning lows and even daytime highs, again, well above freezing. So outside of very late Sunday, no opportunity of frozen precipitation.